Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and shoot another video today because, I didn't like the way that I had to kind of hurry and finish the other one anyways. What I was getting at in my last video, earlier today before, that was at 1 or whatever that I shot that video. It is almost 7 o'clock. It's 6:50. But anyways, I was talking about me and my sister getting into a fight. I bit her. My dad come in there, and the thing is my sister started the fight. I finished it, and then my dad come in there, beat my ass. And my sister was standing at the door at the first little bit, and then she just walked off. And then she come back at the end because he didn't beat me to the point that I passed out that time, but he beat me bad enough that she actually, even though she was she realized she was going to get away with whatever from there on out, for as far as towards me, and that I couldn't defend myself against her because I was told not to because I'm too strong or what the hell ever, supposedly. And, she kind of tried to, are you okay? Whenever I was scooting out of the room, if you will. And I just looked at her, and she tried to, kind of put her hand on my shoulder, and I just, because it hurt, so I just, kind of jerked away, went to the room, went and laid down, went to sleep. Because that's the best thing to do when you're in a lot of pain. Sleep and block it out. But, so anyways, I go into my new job, or, relatively new job, or whatever. And I'm there, working, and an hour and a half, or it wasn't even a full hour and a half, it was an hour and 20 minutes, and they're like, hey, they're going to let you go because it's slow. And I get it, it's a restaurant job. I've been let go before, after just 15, 30 minutes. It's nothing to me, I get it and everything, but it's just really, And it's okay, whatever, So I had to text Jennifer because she's my ride, and be like, hey, and everything. I'm off. And she's like, okay, I'll be there in a few minutes. And she comes and picks me up. And I don't know, my life's hell, I just feel like. And that's the thing, too, is right as I was going to leave, I was packing up my purse. And I couldn't find my card, my bank card. And so I called the bank to try to check the transactions, make sure nothing's happened, and I'm like, it has to be here somewhere. And so I'm like, where's my bank card, and I'm like, it has to be here somewhere, it really does, And then I'm trying to think, is there any place that I could have lost it? So I've got to retrack my days, leading up to today and all that and everything. But the thing is there was transactions on it that seemed like they were mine, but when they came through, so I'm trying to talk to, trying to figure out how long certain businesses take for the transactions to go through and stuff. And I'm just are you fucking kidding me? If my card's missing, because then that means that I have to, I have to cancel it, if somebody did take it and all that, and, then wait for another card to come and all that. And, it's just a hassle. And then, if somebody that does have it, goes out and, spends everything on it, or what the hell ever, then I'm really screwed, because I'll be really screwed in all honesty. But, anyway, so that's, to finish up that video. But as I'm leaving, so I'm sitting there, right? I'm waiting on my ride, and this thing is, it was me and the other front counter person that were told to leave. And we're just okay. And, the dude, I'm which direction do you live? And then I was oh, yeah, he said the other way, when I asked him, a week ago. So, he's this way. And I was oh, yeah, And so I text Jen, so she's heading her way. And I go back in, because I'd walked out with him. And I go back in, and I sat down. And I'm sitting there playing, some music, And I'm just in my own little world. And I look up, and long and behold, who is there? Who has just ordered food or is fixing to order food or something along that lines, other than my ex-neighbor that lived here, the one that I used to have a huge problem with, the one that went to my sister's work, tracked down my sister's new job, Like, I don't know what the hell I'm in. Like, that's what I think in the back of my head. And then I'm just like, let it go. It can't be that big of a deal. But it worries me. It concerns me. Because if you're obsessive enough to meet me and then decide you don't like me and decide that you're going to call the landlord on me constantly to say that, I'm a horrible tenant, if you will, because my dogs bark. And I've had to rearrange my living room 3 damn times so that way I can move my dogs' cages 3 damn times so that way they're not annoying you. And you still complain about me. And the landlord got so mad that the landlord's like, what's the damn complaints about? Like, what's going on? Because it's been going on for a long ass time, and I've never had any other complaints from anybody else dealing with you. Like, what, it has to be, because, if you sit there, if somebody keeps complaining constantly, over and 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 over again, and it's not about something that hurt their feelings, like me, for instance, with my family, the abuse that I went through, I keep complaining about the abuse that I went through. And I keep complaining about what I actually am going through now, and it can be factually proven to anybody. Like, yeah, my kid's not home. Yeah, they took temporary custody. Like, there's facts to back it up. You get what I'm saying? But somebody that just complains, and that's the thing too, is like sometimes the landlord would call me and she'd be like, oh my God, she said you were up all night and the dogs was barking and this and that. And I'm like, I wasn't even home. I went to Stone Mountain with my family, or like I was here, or I spent the night at my parents' house that night. I don't know what she's hearing, but it's not me. And then the landlord gave her the keys that used to all be on one keychain, gave her access to them so that way she could show an apartment when it was available. And then I got locked out of my apartment last year, and I had to call the landlord, or I didn't call her. At first I was trying to figure out how to get in, then I was just going to try to call a locksmith myself. But then I was like, well, maybe, and I was trying to like think, like how to get out of it or whatever. But the landlord was here that day, like on the property. And so she seen me. She asked me what was going on. I told her, I was like, I'm locked out. She's like, oh, well, let me go get the keys. She goes to get the keys, which are now divided, supposedly. Or what was it? No, this was before. That's right. They're still supposed to be on the same damn key ring. And my key's missing off the key ring. And the landlord tries to tell me that it's my fault, that I took the key a long time ago and that I never gave it back. And I agreed that, yes, I took the key, but after a week of realizing my parents ain't never going to take me to just go get a damn copy made of a fucking key, they won't take me for other important things like my fucking leg being busted or to get my damn license or anything huge and important. And this is relatively important. They're not going to take me. You know what? Here's the key back. And the thing is I didn't give it back to the landlord, because it's her mother that keeps the keys, on the property or whatever. So I went back over that, a week later and put the key back on the key ring. And this was before this woman showed the apartment. And then stuff started missing out of my apartment. And this is when I was frivolous about or I guess you'd say frivolous. I don't know exactly the definition of that word. I would have to look it up. But, this is when I was lenient on locking my gate. Some days I would, some days I wouldn't. And stuff started missing out of my house. And if you look past back at my past videos, you'll see where it was small things. One of the things, though, was it was my damn silverware. And I was like, holy shit, I just bought, I waited for my taxes to come that first year, and I was like, I'm going to buy me some good silverware, some decent silverware instead of dollar store silverware, because it rusts and it breaks, and I was just like, can't have this. So I bought a new set, and something inside of me, my internal intuition, if you will, was just like, don't throw away your old silverware just yet. And I was like, okay. you know, and I was like, well, we'll hold on to it, but we'll put it aside and we'll just use the new. And then the new starts vanishing, you know, and so does food out of the house. And I'm just like, what the fuck is going on, you know? And my dog, Clarabelle, the one that is defensive if somebody comes after me and my daughter, that'll bite the shit out of you, you know, she's acting funny when I come home from work and stuff. She's acting like somebody has hit her, kicked her, or something. And something happened to her. That's all that I can say, because this dog will be laying asleep and she'll just hop up and growl. Something traumatic happened to her, and I bet you 10 I know who the hell it was that did it. That's all I'm going to say. So I called the cops out because of this shit going on. I even called the cops out because there were beer bottles in my fucking yard, or cans or whatever, and I was like, you know, the landlord's strict about, you know, trash or whatever. You know, you can't put it in the dumpster over here, even though she owns the business. You can't put the trash over in the dumpster here, you know, supposedly, even though I see people do it, but I don't, you know. I put like 2 small bags because I'd just taken the trash off that day, and like they're little Walmart bags, and I was like, 2 little Walmart bags ain't going to make or break somebody. But other than that, I take my trash off, or I ask somebody to, if you want to actually word it correctly. I ask somebody to, so my trash gets taken off. I don't put my trash in the dumpster. And this woman or whatever, she put damn beer things, you know, like cans out in my... And that's the thing, too, is I sat here and I made a video, and I mentioned that when I was... Like, my first beer that I ever drank was a Budweiser. And literally a few days later, and I don't know what the fuck the deal is. I don't know if it's the devil on my ass, coincidences, or what. A few days later, there is a crushed can of a Bud Light out in the fucking drive out here. And so I'm just like, you know, and I'm just like, don't worry about it, no stress, whatever, don't matter, and you'll have to pick it up if it don't blow away from the wind, you know, and maybe that's how it got here, is it blew from the wind because somebody drunk it, you know. And then I'm like, but who would, you know, like, you hardly ever see that. And even though, yes, they sell beer at the store that's next to me and stuff, still, you know, that's something that you rarely kind of see. And see, that's the thing, too, whenever I called that cop out, and he's like, well, do you think that somebody just drank them right here and threw them away? And I'm like, well, yeah, but I think it was my neighbor that has a problem with me that keeps calling my landlord and all kinds of shit and everything. And, I mean, this woman, I don't know what I did to her. I don't know what I did to her. I don't know what the hell I did to her, you know, or whatever. And, so anyways, Bud Light cans out there, after I make a video and I talk about when I was 15, I took a sip of Budweiser, and I was like, that tastes like piss, never again, you know, whatever. And I haven't had a Budweiser since. And there's a Bud Light out there, and so I'm just like, whatever. So then I got 2 bags of trash sitting beside my trash can out here that need to be hauled off. And this is before the neighbor comes and gets them, hauls them off for me. And somebody picks up that can of Bud Light and sets it on top of my trash bag. Because I go out one day and it's sitting there on top of my trash bag. And I'm like, really? You know, like, really? Really? You know, is what I'm thinking in the back of my head. And I'm just like, oh my God. You know, and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, you know? And I was just like, whatever. But the thing is like, you could just be like, oh, well, they just picked up the one piece of trash that was out there and set it with your trash because it's trash. Why didn't they pick up the other trash that was out there? There was like a bag and a straw and something else. Why are they going to pick up the can and set the can on top of my trash bag that's tied up? But they're not going to pick up the other trash that's right there adjacent, you know, or whatever, in the same yard area, whatever, and set on top of my trash bag. I'm literally living in a hell of harassment, you know? Like, that's the way that I feel. And it's like, I get that it could just be coincidental. I get that they live in this town. I get that I'm going to see them from time to time. But my God, holy hell is shit fucking cow duty. I don't know what. Like, it's like, I have went years without seeing people before. Years. These people moved over just like a year and a half ago, I guess, or whatever. And I've seen them like anywhere from 5 to about 10 or 15 damn times. Now, granted, a few of them's been them over here at the store still. You know? But it's just like, holy shit. Why can I not have a decent enough life, to not have to see y'all anymore? And then I'm starting a new job, and EJ's dad's previous job or whatever, I guess he still works there. I don't know. I don't even know how long he had worked there. I assume for a while. I may have been wrong. I don't know. But the people that he works with or whatever, the company that he works for, the company is known to eat at the restaurant that I work at. And so it's whatever. It's no big deal to me. It's whatever. But it's just like, I don't know. It's like, they're there, that's fine. And the other day when I worked, whatever day it was, because I'm going to have to figure it out as soon as I get off here, off of making this video. The other day that I worked, I think, I told that girl that I thought that it was Saturday, but I don't think it was. I think it was like Friday. I think I worked Tuesday and Friday or something like that. I don't know. I would have to look. I would have to think about it. I really don't know. I really don't know, because my mind's just thinking about too much all the time. And whenever I try to stop it, that's when shit just kind of knocks and comes along. I mean, here I was like, okay, I'm off work. Okay, I got to go home and try to find my bank card. But it's like, life is like a math equation to me that's never ending, and I'm just like, can it stop? Can it stop? And so whenever it's like break time, and it's like, okay, no math equation, just focus on you. You need to go home, find your bank card, and then you look up, and long and behold, who's there? Somebody that you're just like, really? And you're just like... And so anyways, it's the ex-neighbor's mother that was there tonight. And I'm just like, oh my God. But the other night whenever I worked, this guy that works for this same company that EJ's dad worked for or whatever, he's like 7 cents off. And the thing is like, he ordered a meal and then he's like, yeah, that's it, and he's fixing to go and pay. And then he adds and then he's like, well, and he adds a sandwich on it. And then he's like 7 cents over. And I think his total was 7.7 in all honesty. And then don't even get me started on numerology and stuff like that and everything. But anyway, so, it's 7.7 is his total. And I'm like, oh, I got you. No big deal or whatever. And I think I had 2 pennies there that I'd found that was in the floor. And then I had to ask Jennifer for some change whenever she got there, so that way my drawer wouldn't be short, and she gave me 25 cents. As a matter of fact, I still got 20 cents that was in my pocket that I laid aside, and I think I threw it in a piggy bank or something, I don't know, or in my change purse. But so anyways, I covered his change. I was like, oh, I got 7 cents. So I'm there today, and this guy comes up, just some regular guy or whatever, and his total is, what was it? It was like something 309 or 109. I don't know. Something like that. And he's like, oh, man, because he's going to have to break another $1. And I was like, I got you. And so he gave me 6 cents. He like, well, here, this is all I got. He had 6 cents. So I had to put 3 in my drawer. Then this guy, another guy that works where EJ's dad used to work, or does work, or what the friggin' hell ever, or whatever. Dang on. uh, he comes and he orders his food, and I don't know how much his was. I don't remember. I think it was 6 cents. Yeah, it was 6 cents. And I was like, I got you, you know. And so put 6 cents in the drawer, you know. And the thing is the first guy that came, not today, but the other day, he's done this before because when I used to work at Arby's, he came in there like 2 or 3 times, kind of consecutively or close together, if you will, you know, spaced out over a couple weeks maybe. And he was a few cents over, you know, whatever the money was and stuff or whatever. And I was like, I got you. You know, it's good. I got you. Whatever. We're good. I got you. You know. But, I don't know. Life is just insane. And then it's like, oh, don't pay attention to the insanity of life. You know, pay attention to yourself, focus on yourself, this and that. Every time you try to, it's like something just always seems to kick you in the ass or whatever and stuff. Oh, that's the thing too, is right now, today, was it today? Earlier today? I can't remember if it was today or yesterday. Anyways, they've been finishing up some of the road work slightly out where I live and everything. And they put up stop signs where they've redone our drive. And I'm like, we live here. We know to stop before we pull out. That's, you know, like, that's not gonna, you know, and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm like, that's not the problem. The problem is the roundabout that you put, and these people come flying around that damn son of a bitch, you know, and I'm talking flying, you know, and like, especially the transfer trucks. It's just like, holy shit, you know, and everything. It's like, can you, you know. But, they need to put a speed limit sign out there. And granted, they have one, but they need to put, like, since it's a roundabout, if it were a square, you know, it'd have 4 corners, so there needs to be, like, 4 damn signs in the center of it, like, I guess, you know, to show people what the speed limit is there, or at each corner there needs to be one, you know, since it's 4 roads coming into a roundabout. So before you enter the roundabout, there needs to be speed markers, because these people. But anyways, life is just crazy. And then it's like, oh no, life's not crazy. You are. Am I? Or do I just notice things because I just do? Am I not supposed to recognize people's faces? Am I not supposed to remember things? Am I not supposed to have feelings? Am I not supposed to feel pain? Am I not supposed to feel hurt? Am I not supposed to feel embarrassed? Am I not supposed to feel shame? Am I not supposed to feel regret? Am I not supposed to feel happy? Am I not supposed to laugh? Am I not supposed to smile? Like, what the fuck? Like, seriously? You know? Am I not supposed to worry? Am I not supposed to feel concerned? It's like, when and where, you know, and at what point in time is it okay for me to have feelings? Because it was never okay for me to have feelings as a kid. It was never okay for me to have them as a teen. And now I've been an adult, and it's not been okay. So when's it going to be okay? And then it's like, oh, well, let it be okay at your house and in your home. I have been smothering myself in being a mother because I want to be the best mother I can be. And not only that, like, my kid don't have another parent to be there for her. She don't have a dad or a father figure or another parent, period. Female, male, don't matter, whatever. She don't have nobody. She don't have no big sister, big brother, nobody coming in and helping and everything. And then my kid has ADHD. So, excuse me, you know, if I'm wrapping my whole life and my existence up in taking care of her and not able to worry about myself, and then, you know, it's like, oh, for as far as my parents, you know, make sure you always ask for help when it's dealing with your kid, and if they tell you no, then it's it's fighting time. It's game time. It's on. And by fight, I don't mean an actual physical altercation, but I mean, are you fucking kidding me? And you're her grandparents, and you didn't help me get my damn license, so you're gonna take her to the fucking doctor. And then even at that, can't even be that pushy about it, because here's my child supposed to have had a spinal tap done to see if she has one of 3 cartilage diseases, and that never occurred. Just like her getting her braces never occurred, because even my baby wasn't worth taking to Chattanooga. Now, she was when she was little, and she'd been to the doctor several times, with her face being broke out with poison ivy. But for as far as something getting her braces, my mom was like, why don't you just get them here where we live? And I was like, because they're paid for if we take her to Chattanooga, because Medicaid is accepted up there for the place. It's not here. Well, so that's when you work and you pay for them. Who the fuck does that? And that's like this article that I read a few years ago. God, it's been a long time ago, actually. This mother couldn't get the right to health coverage for her child, and she lived in Georgia. But yet, the type of health coverage she was needing was available in Tennessee. So she packed her shit and she moved to Tennessee. So that way her baby's medical coverage, for as far as Medicaid, it was Medicaid. Medicaid wouldn't pay for it here. Medicaid's like, no, sorry. And it was like, I don't know, it was like some type of, I don't know if it was like a disease, for as far as something that they were like sick with, for as far as like, leukemia or something like that. Or if it was something more along the lines of like, just being like maybe autistic or something like that. But anyways, they were like, no, we're not covering that. We're not covering this medicine. We're not covering the bills. We're not covering it here in Georgia. And so she packed her shit and moved to Tennessee, because in Tennessee they do cover it. So anyways, yeah. I've got to get my daughter back. But, oh, and that's another thing, too, that I don't think I talked as much about in my previous video that I was wanting to, was about the Japanese emojis and, like, the squinty eyes that they do and stuff like that. And it's like, not that video, but the one before, I was like, the squinting eyes, or maybe it was, I don't know, it was yesterday's video. But, I was like, the squinting eyes, means like laughing, ha. And so I looked it up to be, like, well, what does it actually mean? Because I really don't remember. And the only things that I could find was that it meant shame, shy, or happy. And that was with, like, the underscores to make, like, the mouth and stuff like that. But the eyes by themselves, it didn't really represent anything by itself, because it didn't show that, because it only showed a short list of things anyways. And I was just like, well, still. And then it took me back to being younger, and I was like, see, that's the same thing that I said to somebody. I was like, oh, what's those squinting eyes? Is that you winking, or is that you laughing, or what is that? What does that mean, And they were like, oh, it means this, or whatever. And I was like, it does. And I was like, okay. And so they told me, that it meant, like, that I made them happy, but I'd, like, told a joke. So that means to me that they're laughing. And so, if I make you happy by telling you a joke, wouldn't that be because you're laughing? Or would it be sarcastic? Or what is it? Is it sarcasm? And so anyways, I just left the shit alone. And then it was a few days later, like I said something to somebody, and somebody jumped my ass about what the hell it meant, because, like, I was like, I'm not having you sit here and making fun of me. You keep sending this, and they're like, I'm not making fun of you. And I was like, well, it sure as hell seems like it, because this is what I was told that it means. And they're like, no, it don't necessarily always mean that. It can mean shy too, or some shit like that. And I was just like, oh, okay. And like, I tried to apologize, but they're done offended that, like, I was like, don't talk to me like that, or don't make fun of me like that, or something like that. And so they're just like, you're stupid or some shit. And so that was the end of that conversation. And so I never really got into using them or whatever. And then on the amino, there's this one person that I wrote like a week ago, this girl or whatever, and she was all writing me, and telling me a bunch of stuff and everything. And she's supposed to be like a 13-year-old girl, or whatever, suffering depression, whatever. And she's just talking to me about that and everything. And she does, what is it? I don't know if it's a W and then an O and another W, or if it's OWO. But anyway, so I asked her what that meant, and she just blatantly was like, I don't know. That's the thing. Like, that is rude as hell to use something and you know what it means, because if you didn't, why would you use it? Like, you know what it means, and then to say that you don't know what it means. And so, I don't know, it's just like a whole level of sarcasm, I feel like, that I don't want any part of. And maybe I'm wrong to look at it that way, but until somebody like kind of, shows me otherwise, and when I ask them, hey, what does that mean? Or I don't remember what that one means, and they're not like, oh, you have to look it up, or I'm not going to tell you, or, oh, I don't know, I just use it all the time, but I don't really know what it means, and stuff like that. And I don't know. It's a headache. And then that's like even the star sign, as it's called, for as far as like dealing with the phone, but there's an actual word for it. What is it? It starts with an A and ends with a K. I don't know, or it has a K in it. Fuck, I don't know. But anyways, it's the little star. And supposedly, you're supposed to put it after the correction of a word, I think. So, like, say you type, I want to go, and say instead of spelling want correctly, because you're dyslexic, like me, and so instead of spelling, W-A-N-T, you spell it W-O-N-T, like the conjunction, or whatever, that, means will not, or whatever. And, not whatever, though, it don't mean whatever, but it means will not, And, so anyways, say instead you accidentally put that, and then you're like, oh, correction, crap, I spelled that wrong. So you're supposed to put W-A-N-T and then the star after, or whatever the symbol is technically called, but you're supposed to put it after. Well, again, this is a little bit of my dyslexia, but this is a little bit of me too, because, okay, so you've wrote it wrong in the sentence. I want to go. And you write I-W-O-N apostrophe T, or you just leave the apostrophe out, and then to T-O, and then go, G-O, and that's what you've written. And then you're like, shit, I spelled the want wrong. It's supposed to be W-A-N-T. So you're supposed to write W-A-N-T and then the star sign. So you're basically saying, I want to go, want correction. That's the way that I look at it, is like that star means correction. Where it makes more sense to me to be like, I want to go, and you spelled want wrong, and then, uh-oh, I need to correct that, so you have, I want to go, correction, want. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's my brain. That's the way that I look at it. And so, I used to always do it before, do star and then the correction, and then I noticed everybody else was doing, it the right way, the correct way, if you will. And so I'm just like, okay, I'll try to remember to do it that way. But there's no guarantee that I will, But, and it makes more sense to me to be like, I want to go, whoops, correction, want. Like, that's what it means, is correction. Let me correct, Instead of, I want to go, want, correct. I want to go, correct, want. You know, like, so, anyways, that's my mind. I don't know. But yeah, so I got let go from work after like an hour and 20 minutes. Had to come home, and the ex-neighbor that hates my guts, I feel like, or whatever, her mom's there, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? And I'm just like, really? Really? And then Jennifer, I don't know, it's always something. It's always something that she says, and I'm just like, do people hate me? Can they just say it to my face if they do? You know? And it's like, maybe they don't. Maybe they just like playing mind games. I don't know. But I don't like playing mind games. I'm never the one that starts playing mind games. Everybody starts playing them with me. And I'm like, would you stop? You know? But it's like, I don't dislike Jennifer. I like her. She's cool. I think she's funny. I think she's sweet. I think she's pretty. You know, I think she could honestly, because she's got the body, you know, and everything, she could be a fucking model if she wanted to, if she tried at it. But at the same damn time, I don't want to date her. I'm not going to fuck her. You know, I don't want to be in love with her. It takes time for me to develop feelings for anybody. And even though, yes, she's done a lot for me and she's been nice to me and she's been kind to me, she's always been kind of snippy sometimes, and that's fine. That's you know, that's her and everything. But me, what I can handle and what I can't in a relationship, and if she's going to be snippy and I know that I can't handle that, then there's no sense in us ever even thinking about it. And another thing too is, like I've stated before, you know, she's an atheist. She don't believe in God. I do. I'm raising my kid to believe in God. She's got a young child. If we get together and I look at her kid and I'm like, yeah, I believe in God, and then her mom's like, no, don't, and then that's gonna, we gonna bump heads, you know? And so, no, you know, and everything. And so it's just like a civil, you know, people getting along type situation, you know? But, and like I said before, you know, or whatever, I'm to a point, I don't believe friendships exist. I really don't. I think the world has become way too cruel for them to even act like they exist anymore. Because I don't see anybody acting like a friend. I don't even hardly see anybody acting like family. My damn dogs act more like family to each other than I've ever seen any family actually act. Una and Clarabelle, Una's the mom to Clarabelle. They act like mom and daughter more than any human mother and daughter I've ever seen. Clarabelle turned on Bonsai one day when they all got into it, when Bonsai was home before he went missing in September, because he was growling at her mama, and she put his ass in his place. She didn't hurt him, but she let him know, you're going to have to get through me before you get to my mom. And then when she stood up for her mom, and her mom didn't realize what had even happened, Una hadn't, then Mama Bear stepped in, and Una did go to bite him, and I had to pull her off of him and him off of her and flip them both and pin their ass to the ground. But, I mean, you know, but that's sad whenever it's like, yes, the dogs act more like family than family, you know? And even for as far as Bonsai, you talking about friends being friends, you know? Because he wasn't, you know, he was a stray that we found. And they accepted him, and they played with him, and they'd share with him, you know? I miss my boy. I'm worried he's dead. I'm worried that the people that he's supposedly lost over at their house nearby and stuff, I'm worried that they shot him, because time before last I went over there looking for him, and I talked to this one person. They're like, oh yeah, they got chickens, and yeah, they got a gun, and they shoot it, you know, whatever's around and everything. And so I was just like, oh, okay, you know. And I went over to their house, the people that got chickens, and I was like, have you ever seen this dog? You know, and they're like, yeah, as a matter of fact, I just seen him tonight, you know. And I was just like, oh, shit, okay, you know, my dog's still alive, yay, you know. And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, surely they wouldn't lie to me. But then I'm sitting there and I'm like, if they killed him though, but then again, that wouldn't make sense. He has to be alive. Okay, that wouldn't make sense at all. But then again, it would, like, if you're scared, but why would you be scared? The dog's on your property if you shot it. He has to be alive. He better be alive. My boy better be alive. I'm going to start crying. Oh, my God. Okay, calm down. Calm down. He better be alive. Oh, my pissy boy. I have this one picture of him on my camera. It's fucking adorable. Like, it's Easter. And it's the last Easter that me and my daughter spent together. And I got her Easter stuff. And then I got the dogs and the cats. All like a toy for Easter. And Bonsai got like a more decent toy because that was his first like Easter with us and everything. And I got him this bunny that like it had like a soft body and it's got rope arms and legs and like little rubber feet. And he was so excited. Oh my God, it was adorable. And like he's laying on the couch and he's upside down, you know, he's laying on his back. He's got it in his mouth and like holding it with his paws. It's just fucking precious as hell. I want my dog back. I want my daughter back. I want my leg fixed. I want my wrist fixed. I want somebody to care about me. One person. And it does not have to be a relationship. It can just be a friendship. But Jesus Christ, trying to find that. And I want to get my money straight so that way I can get a car. Actually, a truck. So that way I can take the dogs where they need to go. And that way I can haul stuff off when I need to. I don't know. But I don't know. I just feel like this whole town hates me. Oh, what was it I said in a video a few days ago? I was like, I don't, when I meet people, I don't go, oh God, this about them. I never do. Instead, I'm like, here's a plate, and we're going to build a cake together. You know, and most people are like, okay, you know, and that's the way, like, that's a metaphor for the relationship. You know, here's a plate. One of you offers a plate. Don't matter even who. And it's like, we're going to build a cake together. And the cake is our friendship. The cake is, you know, like a representation of, you know, our life or whatever, or how we're treating each other. And, I had this really hilarious ass thought about it, like today, thinking about it, because I was like, that's a really good, you know, like, way to describe it, you know, like, basic or whatever, you know, and everything. But, it's like, you know, everybody else kind of brings the ingredients, if you will, to a degree, you know, and they're, like, waiting on me to put the flavor in, or whatever, you know. And I just barely put, you know, like, it's like playing a game of fucking poker or whatever. I'll raise you. I'll see you. You know, I'll raise you this. I'll see you that, you know, or whatever and everything. And so people are like, hey, I want to be your friend regardless of the plate. The plate doesn't matter. So here's the plate, you know. And hey, I want to be your friend. So here's the flour to make the cake, you know. And then I'm like, there's a little bit of sugar, you know, like, because I'm trying to see, you know, and usually it actually don't even start out like that. Instead, it's like, here's the flour, you know, they give the flour, and then I'm like, okay, here's the eggs. And then it's like, okay, that's basically the two ingredients other than milk or water. Who's going to give the milk or water? And it's the last ingredient that can really be given that's the stronghold of the foundation of the cake, you know? And it's like, I thought you were going to. No, I thought you were going to. And so it becomes this battle of wills, kind of who's going to, you know, and it's always me that ends up giving the last little bit. And then when I do, it's like they take the cake and they run with it, you know. And so I'm just sit here like, really? And it's like, I need somebody to to give the water or the milk, or whatever to finish making the cake on my end. I need somebody to put that effort into me, and nobody ever does. And so now I've learned the dance, if you will, of like, oh, here's the flour, and then, they're like, here's the flour. And I'm like, okay, here's the eggs, and then it's like, okay, who's going to give the water or milk? And then it's like, I don't know. And then it's like, but you know what? I think I'm going to make the cake banana flavored. So I'll give some banana flavoring, And then that's when people are like, I didn't want the cake to be banana, or something like that, And I just use banana flavoring because like that's like something that kind of sticks out with me, because my sister made a banana flavored cake for my niece one year. But anyways, so I just get kind of tired of that, I guess you could say, and stuff. Like everybody instead ends up not finishing, and they end up running off and leaving, and so it's just like this shit cake, and then I stated, I was like, yeah, everybody makes shit cakes, and then I was like, but my kid, my kid's like the birthday cake, my kid, I put all the effort into it, and so it's a birthday cake, it's a completed cake, it's completion, it's standing, it's firm, like it's not going to, it's there. It is what it is. Once it's made, it's there. You can't take it away. And so you can't take that away, And that's like even, yeah, you can literally, take temporary custody of my child, but at the end of the day, me and her are still mom and daughter. Our relationship is still the same. It's never going to change. It is what it is. And that's the thing too, like when you meet people and the way that people treat you, that's the way that they're always going to treat you. Okay, I don't like the way Jennifer treats me sometimes, so I'm always going to not like the way that Jennifer treats me sometimes. I don't like the way that my mom and dad treat me, so I'm never going to like the way that my mom and dad treat me. I barely like the way that my grandmother treats me, so I'm always barely going to like the way that my grandmother treats me. Now, does this mean that I hate these people? No, it doesn't. But it does mean that, that's the way that I feel about the situation. Now, does that mean that every time I'm with them that everything's always going to be horrible? No, it doesn't. I've had good times with my family, and stuff like that. So it's just like, don't, and that's the thing that like Jennifer kind of threw off just taking me to work, or whatever. As I was like in the car, and like she was talking and I was just sitting there just trying to be silent and like focus on me kind of. And then I was like, yeah, something about life, Oh, that's the thing too, is she said something that I said in my video that I shot earlier today. What was it? Oh, about Antarctica. She's like, it's colder in Antarctica or something like that. And I'm like, it is, or something. Like, I wasn't really, I was just like, it is. It's colder here than it is in Antarctica or something like that. I was like, it is. And she's like, yeah. And then she's like, so if she said that, then she said it backwards. So I didn't even, catch it until later. I was like, wait, did she say what I think she, and I was like, whatever. But I think she said, it's colder here than it is in Antarctica. And then I was like, it is. And then she's like, yeah, it's below 50 degrees there, And I was like, oh. And I thought to myself, she just said that backwards, but I don't know. And I'm not going to. And I was like, yeah, that's where I said that I'm supposed to, I was like, yeah, that's where I'm supposed to supposedly be because of my allergies being so bad. That's what my allergy doctor said, is like, I need to live in the Arctic, or whatever, Antarctica. Or Alaska, or fucking, hell, yeah, Antarctica, and, it's like, I know it's, freezing and no life there and die and all that and everything, but technically that's how bad my allergies are, it's like, and I was like, the world's trying to kill me all the time because I'm allergic to everything, but, anyways, that's what it was. I went to go get my work clothes and I was walking back and I was thinking about, me using that metaphor, if you will, that like relationships are like cakes and who's going to build the cake and who's putting in the effort, and all that. And everybody always ends up building a shit cake with me, if you will, except for my kid's birthday cake. And if I have to have all the shit cakes in the world just to have a birthday cake, finished, stable relationship with my kid, then so be it. And then I got to thinking about EJ, and I was like, but wait, to myself, and I was like, what would I call mine and EJ's relationship? And I was like, to myself, and I was like, that's a mud pie. I was like, it's a mud pie, I was like, and a mud pie's better than a shit cake, and a mud pie's still in the making, it can be a birthday cake or it can be a shit cake, I got tickled at myself thinking that. But back to Jennifer in the car, she said that about Antarctica, and I was like, yeah, basically the world's trying to kill me. And she said something also tonight on the way back, about if I can handle the crazies, because I told her, I was like, so-and-so's mom was there, my ex-neighbor, and she knows who the ex-neighbor is because it was her ex-neighbor too. And I'm like, so-and-so's mom's there, and she's like, well, if you can handle crazy people, she's like, you can just go live with my mom, and then you can just hide, and there's plenty of room for the dogs, and you can just stay there and live and hide, And like, I don't need that kind of stuff being said to me. That's demeaning, that's degrading, and that's the thing, is like, she says demeaning and degrading things, and I don't know if she realizes that it comes across that way, and I don't know if she realizes that I see it that way, but I think that she does, and I think she gets a kick out of doing it. I think she likes, and that's even like on Facebook, before I deleted my Facebook friends. One of my other friends, supposedly, that supposedly has no knowing of her or whatever, supposedly, put up, what is it? It's Ariel, and it's, talking like it's where she's singing in the Disney movie or whatever, whenever she's like down in her little cave or whatever, of her mysterious worldly items, if you will. I forget what it's called. I ain't watched Ariel, the Little Mermaid, in forever. But anyways, the song is about, their pettiness has just begun, and do you think that, you can be petty and shit like that, and their pettiness has just begun and everything? And it's just like, I'm just sitting here and I'm just like, oh my God, I want to get out of this head fuck that everybody else wants to live in. Everybody else wants to live in a head fuck of screwing around with people, being petty, being shit talking, being all this and everything. And it makes it come across like it's me that's doing it, because I'm sitting here and I'm caught in the middle of it. And I'm just like, leave me the fuck alone. I'm just like, leave me alone. And then Jen, being like, you can just go and hide. I don't want to go and hide, though, is the thing. I just want to drive and work and pay my bills and raise my kid. That's it. That's all I want. That's it. I would like to have a relationship with somebody, like an intimate relationship with a significant other, a partner, or whatever. But other than that, I don't care. I don't. Like, everything has been stifled and suffocated and smashed and murdered and, pureed in the fucking, blender and fed back to me. And so I'm just like, yeah, like, nothing matters. Because people just are cruel. And then it's like, oh no, it's not people are cruel, it's that your mindset is wrong. Okay, let me change my mindset. I have several times, and I'm always disappointed. I'm always let down. That's just like I talked about crying with my husband. Okay, this is my husband. Okay, this is somebody that I'm supposed to be able to build a life with. Okay, this is somebody I'm supposed to be able to trust with everything, even though I couldn't even trust him for the first 3 months of our marriage. And he couldn't even wish me a happy birthday, and like, but yet I'm still supposed to trust him, says society, because should have trusted him better before I married him, should have thought better, and all this and everything. And it's like, oh my fucking God, and it's like, okay, I'm going to keep trying to trust. But what it all boils down to, in all honesty, is that even though there may be people that are like me, that think like me, that are genuinely wanting to be kind like me, it has been suffocated and, out of them completely. And so they've learned to be narcissistic. They've learned to be selfish. They've learned to, be that they have to be to survive society. And that's not me. I'm not going to be that just to survive society. I'm going to survive society at the rate that I'm going, and it may end up making me take forever. And I've heard all the fucking jokes about the turtle, and everything. And, well, don't make fun of people and slower pace, and even the Mike Myers meme from the fucking tattoo place that I followed just the other day. Well, Mike Myers taught you that you don't have to be fast, and all that, everything. And, I mean, it's just like, stop. Like, yeah, I get that you're like that, and maybe you're mad and bitter that you had to change and you had to sacrifice and you've done things that you regret and you've been an asshole when you didn't have to be. You knew it was the wrong choice, and you chose to do it any fucking way so that way you could fit in, so that way you can make your life easier on yourself. And I'm sitting here doing it the hard way, and then I'm bitching about doing it the hard way. And then y'all are laughing at me for bitching about doing it the hard way. And y'all are like, just do it the easy way. No. There you go. But anyways, I got my own way of doing things. I don't know. I don't know. I'm so tired. And not even sleepy tired. I'm not sleepy tired at all. I'm like wide ass awake because I was like, I was wanting to work. And then that's the thing too, is like, I don't know if my boss thinks like that I'm fucking retarded or whatever, or maybe he's just being lenient with me though, because I've been out of work for 2 months, so it's like taking my mind, getting used to everything, and then it's a brand new menu that I've hardly ever even heard of, because I've hardly ever been there to order stuff. And it's like, what sandwich? What food? Do we have I don't know. It's like, And technically, I've been there, let's see, 16, 24. I've maybe been there a day and a half in like 2.5 weeks time. And so it's like, yeah, I definitely don't know the menu. I'm not going to know the menu for another month, probably, at that rate, But it's like, I'll learn it, you can't be strict with me. And this one manager tonight or whatever, it's like, he come up to me because I was standing there because, like, I'm still in the mindset of, like, having more than one person kind of on the register, even though my previous job, that's the way that it was. But it's like, there were other people around you kind of doing stuff for your section, and it's like it was like a tag team type thing, or whatever. And it's like, here it is still, but it's just not in the same way. And then, like, the first job that I ever had, it was like there was always 2 people on the register. So that way, when one was out cleaning lobby, there was always somebody up there to be taking the order. If somebody, like, say you walk out and you go to the broom closet, in the broom closet, let's say, even though it wasn't, but let's just pretend that it's on the other side of the lobby. So the person goes to walk to unlock the broom closet to get the broom out, or whatever. Carrie, you okay? Uh-oh. Carrie's sick. Okay. That's what you get for chewing on those, damn it. Here, come here. That dog is so retarded sometimes. She got a hold of these bug things that, what are they? They're like little motels or whatever. I don't know. But anyway, she didn't chew it and like eat it completely, but she like had bit into it. That's the thing too, is like they keep getting out of their cage when I'm gone now, which they usually don't do. But she bit into it, and then she just looked like she's fixing to throw up. So now I gave her something, that way she will throw up. That way she'll be better. But anyways, I'm at 60 minutes, and I've been kind of dragging it on a little bit, but being more relaxed and talking in this video and not trying to rush myself too much. Yeah. It's always something. It's always something. Maybe tomorrow, though, whenever I get off of work, if they have the schedule up, maybe I'll ask directly for Jennifer to directly, like straight to her face, and just be like, would you be willing to take me to Chattanooga to the hospital so I can go get my leg looked at? Because it's really that bad, but I might try to hold off until I get my own vehicle. That way I can take myself. And that way also, if I have my own vehicle, ooh, yeah, there it is. There we go. Okay. Una, get! It's okay. Good girl. Good girl. But I gotta end this. I got dog throw up to clean. And I'll catch you later. Yeah. Hope you're doing good. Catch you later.